Ambassador to South Africa, Lin Songtian, joins us now from our Pretoria studios. Ambassador, very good evening to you. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak to us. Obviously, a very troubling time for your country. I want to start with the quoted figures. 81 deaths at this stage and the confirmed number of cases, about 3,000. Are these latest statistics accurate? Ambassador?
Yes, indeed. Yes.
Yes, so are these numbers being given accurate?
Yes. Now there is indeed a very deadly virus, and also is a very serious epidemics happen as posing a threat to the health and life of the human being. By now, more than 2,800 confirmed cases have been reported in China, including 8 in Hong Kong, 5 in Macau, 5 in Taiwan. And also up to now, unfortunately, to see that the 81 deaths have been reported. And the challenges to us is, I think the disease is not only stay in Wuhan or Hubei province, also reach other parts of China, except Xizang, the Tibet areas. So that the disease not only stay in China, but also reach the neighboring countries like Singapore, Thailand, Malaysia, South Korea, Japan, as far as Australia, American, and French. So more challenges to us is that the nature of the new virus is unknown, and the source of the infection of such a kind of new coronavirus disease is undiscovered, and the risk of its mutation still unclear. The risk and also how lethal the new coronavirus is to the people remain unchanged. But the virus ability to spread is growing. But hopefully to say that the Chinese government has mobilized their top capable experts together with and invite the WHO expert to join us to work out for the vaccine against such a virus. And now we are happy to say that CDC in China has isolated the virus and also is currently identified as C strains already. The Chinese scientists, together with the international scientists, are racing against the time to develop the vaccine against the virus, and hopefully to see an early application of the vaccine will be conducted in China soon.
Okay,
and this is why we are happy to see.
You spoke earlier on.
Very happy to see that. Yeah, this is very happy to see that WHO recently announced that it is too early to designate the new coronavirus epidemics in Wuhan a public security emergency of international concern.
You spoke about a mutation earlier on, and you confirmed statements by your health minister about the increasing virulence of the virus. And one of the other things that he was warning about is the fact that it's now going to infect people otherwise seen to be healthy but without symptoms, so meaning that we could see a higher incidence of infection. Do you agree?
Now that this is a very new coronavirus, such a virus up to today, as I mentioned, that the nature of the virus is unknown. And of course, now I'm very happy the scientists are working very hard, both in China or internationally, to find the nature of the disease. And we are hopefully is we will get the nature and bring the disease under our control.
And just speaking about the unknown, which you also keep repeating, Ambassador, and scientists, those scientists that you're speaking of, saying that even if we're working at an optimistic figure of 90% of people who are infected being quarantined, there's still predictions that there could be a death toll and an incidence of infection twice as much as we have seen with the SARS virus. What are your scientists that you're consulting saying?
I think the scientists are working in China or internationally they have the very close cooperation to work together to recognize where's the disease come from and where's the disease. And I'm sure that I hope now the most important in China up to tonight, because the nature of the virus is unknown, but we're working close to that end. And now at this moment, the most important thing is to isolate the people, to call on the people to stay at home and not to contact each other. This is why the Chinese government at this moment, we take a concrete measure to suspend the public transportation, especially in Wuhan and some the affected areas, and also, of course, have a very strict measure to take the screen temperature, something like that. And also, they call all the public activities closed, and all the cinema, the parks, the public activities were suspended at this moment in China. I think that is, at this moment, is the effective measure to isolate the people, to not to interact each other and to infect each other.
Your president was very, very firm in saying that officials who are not towing the line with regards to the extreme measures that you've taken to ensure that the virus doesn't spread will be held to account. However, a health expert has said that this could also mean that officials don't share information, meaning that it could lead to the virus spreading. Are you afraid of that? That people who are afraid that they'll be held to account won't withhold information for fear of being sanctioned?
I think that very important is to build up the confidence of the people. Before we build up that confidence, more important, we have to let the people understand what the disease and how the government activities about to take the concrete measure we have taken. I'm very happy to say that my president, His Excellency President Xi Jinping, at the first day of the Chinese Lunar New Year, he chaired the plenary session of the CPC Political Bureau, to the plenary session of the CPC Political Bureau, to decide to set up a leading group to monitor and to guide the nationwide prevention and control activities and efforts. And I'm happy that now he called on all the governments must fight in the front and work together with the people. The most important, we have to build the national-wide prevention and control mechanism and program has been put in place now already after since the outbreak. The second is the massive effort has been made at all levels in the country, where we are not only in Wuhan but all over the countries, not only in China but also we work together with the neighboring country or some country who needed the assistance. And also the national resources have been mobilized and rushed to Wuhan. Not only the local government and medical staff working very hard in Wuhan and Hubei province, but also the nationwide medical resources and personnel have been mobilized and stand by. Some of them has rushed to Wuhan to fight together in the front, including the 450 military medical personnel has arrived in Wuhan to work together. So we are very confident. The government have to make sure to follow the principle of openness and transparency, to release the information, updated the information of the epidemic situation as soon as possible to let the people understand. And I'm very happy to say now the public education conducted nationwide all the time to educate ourselves, the people to call on the people to stay at home, to keep distance, keep away from the disease, infectious disease from each other.
I understand that it's obviously the work of scientists to trace where the virus itself emanated from, but the mayor of Wuhan himself, that is Zhu Xiangwang, had said that the response was too slow. And there's also speculation about the fact that there was this big potluck lunch that involved 40,000 people, that this could have been where it started. What does the steering committee, the presidential steering committee that is working on, believe is the source of the virus from the reports that they're receiving?
And now, because we have the national joint prevention and control mechanism already put into the place, chaired by the Central Committee of the CPC, and also the national-wide the joint prevention and control mechanism led by the National Health Commission and composed of 32 military departments to make sure to coordinate the resources and personnel where the people, the affected area needed, and they coordinate and move swiftly to respond to against the disease there. So now the government in the Wuhan, of course, and Hubei province, they're very, very hard. And my premier, as you know, this morning, he flew to Wuhan to inspect, to encourage the personnel and the people to fight against the virus, the epidemic. And also the vice premier, the Sun Chunlang, who is in charge of the public health sectors, she is already staying in Wuhan to fight together side by side, hand by hand, with the local people and government there. So now we are very confident the nationwide mobilization to support the affected area. We are ready to work together to fight against, and we are capable to win this battle against the epidemic and such an unexpected epidemics. So that is, I think, the situation we hope, we pray to bring the disease under our control as soon as possible. Let it go for the good, for the whole world. The people will enjoy the normal business and travel each other. We pray for the early day to see that.
Ambassador, thank you very much for your time. Lin Songtian is Ambassador of the People's Republic of China to South Africa in our Pretoria studios, and the country also saying that it's already seen an impact on its tourism industry, something that we are following up, the effects of the coronavirus.